Welcome back to the channel. So today we are out at a very remote beach in Yorkshire, back on the coast for the first time in a while. But where I am today, I haven't been since I think about November last year, and that's because when the weather's bad it's really difficult to get to. So I've taken advantage of the nice weather we've had recently on the coast and come down to explore. And I'm at this particular spot because it's got some of the nice exposures of the sandstone beds from the uppermost Lias and going into the middle Jurassic. And because of that, it means we sometimes get terrestrial fossils, including footprints from dinosaurs and some really nice plant fossils. So come along and let's see what we can find. I stopped just because I saw this glorious leaf fossil. I want to say fern. This is definitely fern down here. I'm not sure if the big one is also a fern. I suspect so, but my paleobotany is not great. But whilst I was here, there's something else I wanted to show you, which is really cool. On this giant block, do you all see this? This here is a dinosaur footprint. So you've got the big toe down the middle, and you've got a toe on each side. And possibly a fourth toe with a little helix, so the thumb effectively, or the big toe going that way. So that's a really cool footprint on this block. And I was having a look to see if there's any more on it, because usually where there's one, there's several. And this might be a rough one here. I would say this is it, again associated with the same track down here. Animal moving from top of picture down. And if that's the case, that's quite cool. I've never seen a complete trackway, or at least a partial trackway in Yorkshire. They're quite common on some of the other bits of the coast, but not where I am. So that's really cool. And just another bit on the same block. What I think might be another one going that way, but it's not as complete. It's missing what would be in the toe there. So yeah, and I think that's probably one there. That's a really nice block, that. But that block is huge. That's, let's say, 12 foot, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters by, 2 meters. Yeah, so it's huge. It's a big old block. But this is what I came here to have a look for. See if we can find one of these smaller ones that we might be able to take home. And sometimes it's tough to tell with footprints, but I think this might be another one there and another one there. Not well preserved, but I think that's what those are as well. Made it down onto the beach proper, at least the first bit of the beach, and people might know where we are if they've watched the videos or are fossil hunters on the coast. But just a reminder, it has been incredibly hot, and so whilst we don't have the usual risk of giant rain showers washing huge chunks of the cliff out, we get lots and lots of shale blocks falling out on a regular, and so it is a bit of a safety hazard if you're on the beach as the shale blocks keep falling out through summer. And if the little ones are falling, there's nothing to say the big ones can't also fall, so just be safe. A nice 3D one of those would be nice. It's a little Harposaurus. That'd be beautiful. Can you spot the fossil? And the beach has given me a fairly easy one to start getting my eye back in. Very, very worn duck by the looks of it. Fresh out but slightly blown hildy, but might take that. These little mangled bits may not look like much, and they're not really, but a little bit of fish bone with some interesting shapes on the edges. So I don't know if that was a more exciting bit of fish bone, but it's not well preserved and not a lot of it, so I'm going to leave that there. Not something you see every day. A little teeny tiny, super pyritic little Lias ammonite. I might take that because that's just quite nice in the amount of pyrite in it. Just the remnants of another little slide coming down. I only just managed to catch the end of that, but second time falls come down in that spot in the last 5 minutes. So just a good reminder. Plenty of little bits around. It's a partial outer whorl of something quite big. One that was a double, so there was one sat here that's exploded. You can see the calcite from the inner chambers, but there's another one underneath it, so I might give that a tap and just see if that comes out okay. I doubt it, but we'll give it a go. My first decent little back, so that'll go in the bag as is. Super frustrating when you turn over what looks like a perfect nodule and turns out someone's already had the same idea, hit it, and it had a beautiful Eleganticius in it. wouldn't be a trip to the coast without a hildy, and there's another fairly good sized one. It looks fine from this angle, then you turn it on the side and you can see it's very squished through this outermost section, but it looks to be okay as it goes back into the rock and inwards, so that'll go in the bag. Also wouldn't be a trip to the coast without a belemnite fragment cone. So towards the guard would have been that way, the bullet shaped structure, and then towards the tentacles that way. I found a grey shells nodule. It's one of my favourite ones to find around here. You can get really lucky with them, and they have these often beautiful dactyliosceras, tenicostatums and semisoldatums in them, and if you're lucky, some of the extra rare ones, but I don't think that's likely to be extra rare. That looks like a nice teni. It looks like it's already partly split, but I'm not going to pop it here on the beach. I'd like to take that home because if I can keep the shell on it and it's got a lot of its shell still in place, it'll be hopefully a stunner of an ammonite. Yeah, just a couple of dacks, one fairly obvious. This one I've just tapped and exposed the edge, so I'll take that one as is as well. There might be another one in there, that's why. Typically tapped a nodule that I thought was a grey shells nodule. It turns out it's from even lower down than that, and so I've just exploded this thing. I don't know if the middle's there. Looks like maybe, but not necessarily great. I'm going to take it back anyway. I can always stick it back together and have a look at the inside. Another nice bit. That one's come off the foreshore though by the looks of it. Yeah, this one was broken already when I hit it, but it's broken out in a very fun way. So pretty much all of the outermost whorls exploded and gone as little calcite bits, but the inner bits, quite nice shape. Not going to take it though, it's just fun to show. A nice partial Perinoceras just sitting there. Sadly the middle's all blown out, but it shows off the nodes quite nicely. It's quite a nice example of one of the big scallops that you get at Robin Hood's Bay, and I think that's sufficiently nice that might come back with me. A few more bits to keep, a few more bits to hit. So nice stack there. So that should be pretty good to go. Another hildy, although I'm not convinced the middle is on this one. We'll have to see. And a few nodules I'm just going to tap now, and we'll be back with you when we've popped them open. And typically all those nodules that look promising are all duds, so just the deck and the hildy to go in the bag. Nice big old keel sticking out. I think it's a deck, but it might be a Perinoceras. It's tough to tell at that size and that worn, but it'll go straight in the bag and good to go. These middle Lias nodules are a pain in the butt. They don't split nicely, and you can't tell if there's anything in them till you split them. But I'd say it's an ammonite, but it doesn't look like a pleuro, so I don't know what it is if it's not a pleuroceras. Something different, but I tried to put it all back together and there's bits missing out of it, so sadly it'll stay there. Another little grey shells nodule. You can just see the edge there, a bit broken on that side. I don't know if that's when it's fallen or someone's tapped it and said that's enough. But you can see the edge going around. It looks like it might be a bit flat, but we'll see. I was just walking back and I saw this little bit and I'm like, oh, piece of wood. But just with the shine quality on there, on both ends, it might actually be a piece of jet. I need a sandstone block just to rub it on, but I'm going to say that's jet, just because I think it is. So a nice little bit. Surprisingly light. It's the thing that always catches you off, unless it's filled with pyrite. But yeah, there we go. Nice piece of jet. Just finishing up here at the turnaround point. You might wonder what this is. This is part of what I'm hoping to start doing, is being able to put the camera on my shoulder and film as I walk around. And so we'll do some full-length hunts, hopefully, where you can kind of just follow along with me the whole way. But today's been pretty good so far. A couple of hildies, a couple of decks, kind of all you can ever hope for in the upper Lias, and anything else is an added bonus. So going to go head back and see what else we can find as we work our way back to the dinosaur footprint sites. Gorgeous little belemnite showing off some features. So we've got the fragment cone, that big coney segmented section here that goes into the guard, and then this goes this way and underneath the shale under here, and that'll all be the pointed bullet shaped section. So that gives you an idea of what a full belemnite would look like. I won't be extracting it because this is all SSI protected bedrock, but it's just good to be able to show off for you. Another little decent deck in that split. I'd say that might just be another little dinosaur track right there. Only two-ish. I think there's one there, and I think that might be where the third one would be preserved. The flat light really doesn't help seeing them though. A bit of angled light definitely helps show up the contrast that you're looking for better. So that's going to wrap us up. Only that one last footprint on the way back, but can't complain too much. It's been good to see a few of them, and that one trackway is really nice. It's a shame that all the big things are really difficult to get out, but that's why they're still here and easy to find when you visit. So that's how it goes. The ammonite side of things was pretty good too. A few nice hildies, some dacks, lots of bits and pieces to go in the bags, and it's good to be back out on the coast. It's been a while, so a pleasure to get back out, and the weather has been good. Not too hot, thankfully, otherwise I think I'm going to be melting on my final little bit with a bit of trek back to the car. But how it goes, let us know what you liked on the finds, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with you with some more before and afters fairly soon. See ya.